Panther people, what up? We're talking all things training camp. Who's there? Who's not there? Who's throwing first team? Who's throwing second team? Who's throwing to nobody? What's going on? You're watching Panthers Post with Phil Perkins. Before we get started, take a look at the bottom of your screen. Did a little bit of redecorating. I've been talking about the merch. Right below, you see the Baker Mayfield Bake Show shirt and the Bake Show cup. What better way to start your Sunday or that one Thursday night game? And that's about it for primetime games to this upcoming Panther season. And wear some sweet merch. And you better know your guy's going to change the colors of the t-shirts going down the line and also incorporate that matte black helmet. Support the channel. Bang. Buy a shirt. I just love training camp. It's just so much fun. Super hot. Everyone's uncomfortable. But let's get right down to what we are seeing right now in Wofford College in South Carolina. Obviously, as you can tell, I am not there. I'm going to speak it into existence. Now that my kid's turning 2 in September, he's going to cost money on the plane. Speak it into existence. Me and the family taking the road trip to Spartanburg next training camp and cover it like a reporter would, you know? Try to get immediate access, talking to coaches, talking to players, being not able to shoot certain parts of the practice, but just giving my observations right on hand. So for right now, I'm basically beholden to the vloggers that are there. Unnecessary Bluntness are there. PNP are there doing their thing, talking to DJ Moore. That's a deep cut. Take a look at their Twitter account. And also the beat reporters as well to see, the observations they're making, who got to practice first, who's not there. So this is what I'm observing through them right now in training camp and how I feel about it. Start off the bat with who is not there. And this is supposedly not concerning, according to Matt Rhule, who spoke with the media afterwards. But 2 years ago, number 8 overall pick, arguably one of the best young corners, or should be one of the best young corners in the league, J.C. Horn, physically unable to participate. He is joining Shaq Thompson in that situation because he felt some soreness in the foot that was broken after the Houston game. Why that's concerning, even though Matt Rhule said it's not a long-term thing. Obviously, he wants to preserve these guys' careers. A very, very young guy, arguably one of the foundations of this defense, of this team. So they don't want to rush him if something's hurt, especially with the foot. This is why I'm concerned about this situation. Number one, it's the foot. If you ever look at the skeleton of your foot, there's a lot of things that make up the foot. A lot of literal moving parts, a lot of muscles, tendons, ligaments. And so if something goes wrong, there's kind of like a chain reaction. And if you do something weird, there's so many things that can move on your foot, like running or conditioning, it could bring it all back. Number two, why I'm concerned. He's been working out all off season. He had the entire season and off season to rehab that foot. And he has been conditioning, going hard. We're seeing that on Twitter. We're seeing on his socials, he's going hard, wearing the helmet, doing all the drills, stop, go, backpedal, sprinting, all that kind of stuff, weight training. What's up with the conditioning that now it's getting hurt? That's strange to me. And number three, the Panthers got a weird reputation. I know it's a different medical stuff, but the Panthers have a weird reputation with foot injuries. Do you not remember Greg Olsen with his foot? Do you not remember Cam Newton with his foot? They just kept putting them on at the wrong time and just misdiagnosing it, not taking care of it, rushing it, and just kept re-injuring himself. So in a way, sure, there's a history of Panthers players with foot injuries and kind of derailing their careers in a way. I don't think that's going to be the case with J.C. Horn. In a way, compared to the other guys who did get hurt with the previous medical staff, they're not rushing him. So that should be kind of the silver lining in all this. It's just weird that the foot that was injured is still sore from doing something that he's presumably been doing for at least the offseason, maybe even parts of the season and the offseason. Why is it hurting now? Very strange. Who also not there, not because of medical reasons, but because it's a wrap. Rashad Melvin, the veteran cornerback who had some pretty good plays last year as a depth piece for the Panthers. He retired after numerous seasons and, according to Matt Rhule, great human being, wishes him all the best. Because we're already talking about this quarterback competition that's going on right now. What about the DB room right now? Like, you got J.C. Horn, who is the presumptive starter, no matter what. Like, you draft him 8th overall, and he was on pace to maybe be Defensive Rookie of the Year last year. So you got him on one side. You got Dante Jackson, who you just paid big money to. But you got guys like Keith Taylor, who made some noise today, and people are talking about him. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. But he showed up big time last year as a rookie, drafted in the late rounds in replacement of J.C. Horn, who got injured. Then you got C.J. Henderson, who they traded at that moment, at that point in the season, Sam Darnold security blanket and Dan Arnold and another pick for CJ Henderson, who's a kind of a reclamation project, kind of like a Sam Darnold version for a cornerback. And so he's there to compete. So you got Keith Taylor and you got JC and you got Dante, and it's gonna be heated to see how guys step up. If guys step up. All right, let's not hold up any longer. Let's talk about the quarterbacks. And let's go in chronological order. And why am I doing that? Because who showed up to practice first? Now, thanks to all the beat reporters and everyone else who was out there to point out that it was Matt Corral, who is the presumptive, this is the second time I've used this word in this vlog, third string quarterback behind Baker Mayfield. Let's be real, it'd be Baker, Sam, and then Matt. But Matt, being the good rookie that he is, trying to be that sponge, being the first one on the field. The first player in a whole gigantic team worth of guys, first player on the field. And again, I wish I was there to see what he was doing, maybe just warming up the arm, looking at the playbook, talking to Ben McAdoo. But those are all good signs. And he's already in the right mindset, talking to reporters, yesterday as they all showed up in Spartanburg, that he's going to do it at any means necessary to try to be the starter for this team. So already the guy's got that dog mentality. He's going to catch these sleepy veterans. I don't think Baker's sleepy, but Sam, a little bit sleepy. He can maybe jump Sam to be that second string quarterback, and then maybe Sam could be a trade piece for a team that has an injury at some point, early in the season or during training camp. I don't know, but I'm not going to doubt this guy at all to think in his brain, I don't care if I'm a rookie. I play in the SEC, and I'm going to jump. They traded up for me. They traded more capital to get me than they did to pick up Baker Mayfield, who is a former first overall pick. And they got this other third overall pick who's kind of a wash. I am going and gunning for that first job. And then if I don't get that, second job. I honestly think that's his mentality, and I love to see it. You need that kind of competition. I know I've said it previously. This is the least toxic QB room in the NFL right now. Everyone just seems to be pretty chill. But it's just good to see a rookie out there showing that gumption. Maybe he was just out there to do rookie stuff like get donuts or get everyone's pads ready or helmets all shined up. But either way, it's a good look for him. But for the actual QB competition right now, so Matt Rule said that the way they're going to be organizing this is that Sam Darnold today was throwing with the first team receivers and Baker Mayfield was throwing with the second team receivers. And the reason why they're doing that is because he wants to give them continuity for that day. They want to kind of show they got a rhythm throughout the day and then not switch it up, literally every other player. So tomorrow, Baker's going to throw with the first team, Sam's with the second team, and see how that turns out. Really, to Baker, everyone's a new team. Doesn't matter who it is. And speaking of that, if you want to keep score of practice, like it's dumb, like really anything before the season is dumb. Maybe less done with the Panthers because literally every practice, every preseason game will determine who the starting quarterback is. Maybe the only other places that they're having an actual true QB competition is in Pittsburgh between Mitch Trubisky and Kenny Pickett, and Seattle between Geno Atkins and what the hell is that quarterback's name? People are yelling. What's his name? Doesn't matter because I think Geno Smith is probably going to be the starter. Either way, while it doesn't matter because it's preseason and it's training camp, every single practice, every single rep, every single preseason game is going to matter to determine who the starting quarterback of this team is. And so you can not really read into what happens in practice, but you kind of could if you really wanted to, if you were bored. So with that, Baker Mayfield overthrew his receiver, picked off by the aforementioned Keith Taylor, 6'4" corner. It was underthrown. Keith using his length as he should, as a big corner, using that Scott Fitter, Matt Rule metrics to his advantage, just grabbing that thing at the highest point and then taking it and running it back. We also must mention that Sam Darnold almost got picked off, but it didn't happen. So, if this was a game, he had 0 picks. Baker has 1. Baker mentioned that, he wish he could have some things back. He wish he could have just had more throws in general. Thing about quarterbacks, Baker Mayfield telling the media that, he made a pretty big mistake. Not the pick, but wearing long sleeves, tight long sleeves. It's not a lot of breathability there. And sweatpants. From what I understand, it's like 92 degrees at Wofford right now. And I was surprised that, DJ in that video they were sharing on social was wearing a hoodie. I thought that was that's a health hazard. But for Baker, if you take a look at him, he's not the most ripped guy. He's a stocky guy. He's kind of built like a tree trunk. For him to wear long sleeve everything, and he doesn't have a buzz head either. and he's wearing a helmet with the visor that increases the heat inside your helmet. Man, I'm surprised we didn't get footage or any reports that he was puking. But maybe that would contribute to his underthrown pass. Who knows? But be interesting tomorrow. Does he just go in wearing the short shorts? Does he wear, the mailman short shorts and maybe no jers? Maybe go no jers? Maybe go tank top? Does he go full Aaron Rodgers, Nicolas Cage out of Con Air type situation? I don't know. That would be funny if he did it tomorrow. I'm not going to lie. I mean, the guy loves playing for the camera. Position battle, left tackle. Obviously, many people, including myself, very hype about Akim Ekwonu, but Brady Christensen, who is a much older second-year NFL pro, is probably saying, I played one full year of the NFL, and he played a good amount of snaps at left tackle. James Campen saying that he wishes, that Brady Christensen could have played left tackle a little bit more. He was impressed with what he saw. So you could imagine that there's a healthy competition there between the two first and second-year players. Obviously, Akim, the long-term future with that, but if it could only make him better to try to compete against a second-year guy who is also could make him better to try to earn that spot, it could only make him a better left guard and just strengthen that offensive line even better. So that's going to be an interesting matchup. Those are my observations from day one of training camp. I might be doing another one tomorrow depending on what happens in day two. Worst case scenario, maybe do one of those YouTube shorts. Let me know how you guys feel about those. They're only about 15 seconds. Maybe I could do a couple of those, give my instant reactions to what I'm seeing and observing from training camp. I really wish the Panthers, I know they have a live blog, but if they had a live stream of whatever they're allowed to show, I think that'd be a lot of fun too. Also looking forward to their Camp Confidential. That's going to reveal a lot as well. Show some personality on the squad, which they already do a great job of. So it'll be interesting to see what comes out of that. Let me know what you thought about the first day of training camp. What's your attitude when you watch training camp practice? Do you get excited, or you just tell yourself, it's practice? Allen Iverson, we talk about practice. All right, that's it for Panthers Post. See you guys soon.